looking to see if this is coming up, and so far it hasn't on my Facebook page. Huh. Well, it's live, and I'm in the right place, but it's not up. There it is. Okay, good. I was a little worried. I thought, oh no. You never know about the technology these days. So, how are you? I am Stampin' Dee, and I'm here today with Stampin' Thursday, and it is Mystery Card Make It Together Day. And this is so fun. Usually what I do is I do with you what the demonstrator, our group, the leaders group, meets together once a month, and we do a mystery make it together. And a lot of times I will do with you what we have done, because I like that. I think it's fun to see what everybody comes up with. Everybody's is different, because you're picking your own paper and your own cardstock, and the card will be the same, but they'll all look different. And I love that. I may not be crazy about my first attempt, but then I go and I do it the way I want it to look, and it's just fun. So I hope that you have gathered, if you're watching this live, I hope that you have gathered your supplies, and that you see them right there on the screen. They've been on my Facebook pages. So I hope you've gathered your supplies. And if you're watching this on a replay, then you can have your supplies ready and do it with me too. And certainly if you're watching this on YouTube, I hope you've done that. I know some people want to wait and see the end product before they do their own, and that's fine if that's the way you want to do it. I kind of like the mystery of not knowing, what mine is going to look like, and not knowing how it's going to turn out, but not everybody wants to take the time to do that, and that is fine. So, before we get started, I just had a question for you. This is totally stamping related, card making related. I'm going to a game day today. My husband and I are going to a game time at our church, and I'm taking this game. I'm taking Sky Joe, and it's I don't know how long Sky Joe has been around, but we have just recently started playing it, and we really like it. We really do. But I'd like to know what your favorite game is, what you like to pull out and play with, either, with just a couple of you or with your friends or your family. What's your favorite game? I want to know what yours is. I always like to hear about new games, and because we're big game people. We really love games. So anyway, all right, back to stamping and card making. So these are the supplies that you need to gather for this fun fold gift card holder. And I think you're going to love it. I think you're going to want to use it. One of the ones the first one I did actually was for a Valentine gift. And you could stick money in it, or you could stick a gift card in it, however you want to use it. So we're going to start with these supplies. You need colored cardstock that coordinates with whatever designer series paper you choose. And that color cardstock will be 5.5 by 4.5, 4 1/4. 5.5 by 4 1/4. And then you need the same color cardstock and cut 11 inches by 4 1/4. And then you're going to score this one on the long side at 3 1/4, 6 1/2, and 9 3/4. So let's start with that. My first piece I chose, this is Melon Mambo, and it is 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. And then my second piece is also Melon Mambo, and I have not, let's see, I thought I scored one of them. Maybe not. So let me get this. And that would be the first thing we would do, is we would score this. So we're going to score it at 3 1/4. Oops, let me move my cutting blade. Be sure and move your cutting blade. So we're going to score it at 3 1/4. And at 6 1/2, I'm going to have to open up my arm here. 6 1/2, and 6 1/2 is right past the hinge where the arm is. 6 1/2, and at 9 3/4, all the way out here, 9 3/4. Here we are. All right. So that is all the scoring that we're going to do, and I've already got my pieces cut. So before we go any further, let's take the long piece and we're going to fold this end up, and then we're going to fold it down toward that and then away. And I'm going to get my bone folder, and I want to give a good burnish to all of these folds. Okay. So I hope you're doing the same thing. All right, so we folded the small one up, and then we folded the next one down toward that small one, and then the last one we folded up. All right. So then you were told to pick 2 designer series paper patterns that coordinate. So these are the 2 that I picked. And they're from the Toadstool, what is the name of that one? It is Toadstool Gardens. Toadstool Gardens paper, and there is so much pretty paper, pretty colors in this. So that's what I chose to use on this card. And so we're going to go ahead and adhere. Now, why is that? Maybe I didn't cut it. So the patterns are 5 1/4 by 4. 5 1/4 by 4. Make sure I've got my dimensions right. 5 1/4 by 4. So what was this cardstock was 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. 5. Oh, I didn't do it 5 1/2. Shame on me. All right, let me get my Melon Mambo out. And get a piece out. See if this one might be. Maybe I picked the wrong one. No, but this one, this needs to be 5 1/2. 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. This is the right one. I kept the wrong one out. All right. And this is a landscape card. So if you have a pattern, it needs to be landscape. And we're going to glue that down. I'm just using my Tombow glue, making sure I've got the corners. All right. And I'm just going to center it. on here. That's good. That's good enough. There we go. Centered there. And then we're going to set this one aside for right now. And we're going to work with our fun fold here. So you needed to have, well, let's do this. Before we go any further, you were told to have a small circle punch, and it doesn't matter what size it is. I chose the 1 inch. And I always punch upside down. And I'm going to come right in the middle of this and just punch a piece out. Okay. And then we're going to take our white. You were supposed to have a basic white 3 inch by 4 inch piece. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to put it right behind this. It's going to go right here, centered. I'm going to mash it down. And then this is going to be your money holder piece. So we're going to use tear and tape. You can use any adhesive that is strong. If you want to use your Stampin' Seal Plus, that would work. But I'm just going to use a little piece of tear and tape right here. You also want to just do it on the edge. And a little piece of tear and tape. Tear and tape is so easy to use. You just tear it off and put it on. And then I'm going to use take a pick tool. I'm going to use the pointy end and get my top piece off. Tear and tape is really strong once you let it set. And then I'm going to pull this up and put some pressure on it, and it will do great then. All right. If you're working with me, I'm going to give you a minute to catch up. All right, and of course this is where your gift card is going to go. I think I have a couple of samples, and so I have a gift card that it's just gonna, but you could also put cash in there and it would be just fine. All right, so now we're going to move on and we're going to create the front of our card. And this piece is for the front. And you can see that I made this piece the background and this piece the front. I didn't want the front to be too busy. I love this paper though. I just love it. The mushrooms and you know, all the different colored mushrooms and the colors in it. I just love it. It's pumpkin pie and melon mambo and basic gray and fresh freesia. Just so many pretty colors in it. All right. So I'm going to glue this piece down. And it is the back side of the one that's that we just used. And it goes right on the front. Move it over just a little bit. Move this down. Whoops. There. Down just a little bit. All right. And then you were told to get a piece of basic white that is approximately 3 by 2. And the sentiment that I'm going to use is going to be Happy Birthday. And I'm going to put it right down here because I'm going to put my little element up here. Let me grab a mat, piece of foam. And I'm going to use basic black or black memento. I think I need to re-ink my memento. That should do it. And I'm going to position it right down here. There we go. I'm going to clean this off before I make a mess with it. This Happy Birthday came from the Unbounded Love. So the Happy Birthday right down here. All right. Put my black away. How are you doing? I think the next thing I do will be to go ahead and add it to the front. And I'm going to do that with dimensionals. So I'm going to grab my regular size dimensionals, get them out of my bag. Okay. So I don't need to do any more stamping on it. So just go ahead and get it on the front. This is an easy card to make. Easy, easy. And go ahead and get my little covers off. Throw them away. You have little dimensional pieces all over when you scrap, when you make cards. I do. All right, we're going to put this on the front, centered, and then I stamped and used the punch from the Toadstool bundle. I stamped this in Melon Mambo and stamped the stem. I punched the top, but you have to fussy cut the stem. And we're going to use dimensionals on that. I think they're so cute. They are just so cute. These toadstools. And then I'll put one dimension. I think I'm going to use a mini at the bottom. And a little glue at the top to adhere it to the toadstool. Did I get it? Yeah, I did. I just couldn't tell. Okay. And then just a little tad bit of glue right up here. And we'll bring that around. Right there. There we go. Now we're going to go ahead and adhere this to the card base. And once again, we want this to stick down really well. So I'm making sure I have all the corners covered. All right, right there. I'll lift this up and mash it down here. Make sure that it's down there well. All right, then all we lack are our twine and our sequins. So I chose to use linen thread. And I'm going to do a double bow. So I need about that much. I'll straighten it out just a little bit. It'll make it a lot easier to tie the bow if it's a little bit straighter. All right, we're going to go ahead and tie that bow. Poke it through. Hold on to my stems. Give it a good pull, and now I've got to bring it in quite a bit. That's about the way I want it. It's going to go right there. Okay. We'll cut this off a little bit. Cut that off a little bit. And get my glue dot. These glue dots this time, I've not been real pleased. They've just not functioned well. You know, and I'm sure that a batch every now and then is going to be that way. So I'm going to try to get another glue dot on there. All right. And I think it's going to stick. All right, we're going to put it right there. And I'm going to spread my strings out. Right. There's that. And then these are the purple adhesive backed sequins. And these are one of your freebie items that you can choose from Celebration. And with a $60 purchase, these are free. And I love these colors. I love them. So I think I'm going to pick 3 of these. I think I'll go with the purple. I think I'll go with the Fresh Freesia look. Use this. Put one right there. Put one right there. And one right there. All right. And I think that is it. So here we have our Fun Fold gift card holder. And you can write your message here as well. Using these supplies, I hope you got yours together. And I hope that you will give this a try with some other things. Let me show you what other supplies I did mine with after I did my first one. I'll show you my first one. So I told you that my first one was a Valentine, and it is. Using that Hearts of Elegance. Hearts of Elegance, I think, and the marbled paper. Oh, I love it. I want this spread apart a little bit. So this is the first one I did. And the gold foil, so pretty. All right, that's number 1. It's the first one I did, and I was very pleased with it. The second one, I decided to use the Storybook Moments. I love this paper. Love it. Love the elements that come with it. It has 2 pages of punch-out elements that you can use on your cards. This is one of the elements. Isn't that cute? So there's that one. That's the second one I did, and now this is the third one. So as you can see, they can be very different, very unique. I think it was on this one that I went with a smaller piece for my sentiment and moved it down because I wanted my background paper to show. So I went a little bit rogue on that one, but that's okay. You can do it any way you want to do it. This one I embossed with gold embossing powder. And I thought that turned out really well too. There we go. 3 Fun Fold gift card holders. I hope you'll do it. I hope you enjoy doing it. And let me know. And let me know what your favorite game is. I'll be posting this to YouTube in just a few minutes. So it can also be watched there. So thank you. Thank you. I know the mystery card is usually a little bit faster because I have most of the stuff already cut. I hope you enjoy it. Let me know. Thank you for watching. Have a blessed day. Stay warm because here in Texas, it's going to get cold again. Yep, it's going to get cold again. So I'm looking for my little thing that all right. Stay safe. Stay warm. God bless. Bye-bye.